This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, November 26th. I'm here with Al, Brandon, Lindsay.
Like
I
my
am
suit
Tori.
jacket?
Everybody does, but guess what?
What's that?
It's a big show today. You know why, guys?
Why's that?
Well, a little bit later, we're going to reveal the DBL viewer who won our big Escape the Winter Sweepstakes at Sandals Resort Plus.
Is it Al?
It's not. We're spotlighting an Air Force veteran who's down on his luck and battling cancer. Now, we're helping him get back on his feet. It's an emotional story with a huge surprise.
Is that going to make me cry?
Yep, that you don't want to miss. All of that is coming up in moments. But first, of course, we have to face the grandfather who is now facing charges of negligent homicide in the death of his toddler granddaughter. He is talking about the moment she fell from a cruise ship in July. It's heartbreaking. Take a listen. This is what he told CBS this morning.
I saw her fall. I saw her fall the whole way down. I saw her fall. And I was just in disbelief. I was like, oh my God. And then I just remember screaming that I thought there was glass.
Now, he's also giving an explanation for anyone who thought why he didn't notice that the window itself was open and the windows were tinted, so they were a drastically different color. Take a listen.
Some of the people who've been on the boat have written to me and said, David, the windows are tinted, and so it is pretty easy to recognize that it's open.
I am colorblind, so that's something that...
You are colorblind?
I'm colorblind. I don't know. I just never saw it.
I don't know. This man, he said also in the interview, there's no punishment, that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's already in his own hell. We all know that.
And Al, I remember, because we've done this story a couple times, and you said it, like, this guy doesn't deserve to go to jail. Why are we just locking someone up? Why is that what we always want to do? And I'm switching over, and I agree with you guys, because, like I said, that granddaughter dying, he's already in his own prison.
There's
there's not a day that goes by that I don't think that he thinks of that granddaughter.
And I think it was a terrible accident, not a crime. You know, what do they want to accomplish by charging this man? Like, who wins in that case?
Yeah, who's benefiting?
It's for our own peace of mind as human beings. We need closure. We need a reason. We need somebody to point to. You left that door open. You did that. Sometimes horrendous things happen, and it's hard to understand that. We can understand when great things happen. When somebody goes, hey, I was 30 minutes late to work, decided to play the lottery, and I won. I've never played in 30. That's great. And no one questions, like, well, why did you? But when it's bad from the same set of circumstances, we always want to blame somebody. So whether this man goes to jail or not, it has no consequence to him, or it's just really for us, which is sad.
Question for you guys. Do you think that if the family backs off with the lawsuit, that maybe
the family doesn't want it?
No.
It's the state. The family's like, why are you doing this?
Interesting.
The daughter doesn't want, nobody wants this. That's what I don't get.
No, I thought they had a lawsuit against the cruise line.
Against the cruise line. I thought you were saying about the grandfather.
Do you think the cruise line could put some pressure on the state to be like, hey, drop these charges? Do you think it could be one of those type of things?
There needs to be an adult in the room that just ends all of this.
Yes. Right.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Where's compassion
no one
in our
wants
justice
this.
system? There's
Nobody
no
wants
compassion.
this.
I know. Now, speaking about our justice system, this has got me riled up. 3 men in Baltimore have been freed from prison 36 years after being wrongfully convicted. They were granted a writ of innocence after being convicted of a first-degree murder in 1983 and were let go yesterday. Here's what 2 of them said about it.
I'm looking forward, man, to living the rest of my life, being humble, as peaceful as I am, and praising God. Oh, man, I'm telling you, it's out of this world.
Us 3 standing here should have never happened. And like she said, somebody else got to pay for this when they do this. They just can't keep walking away because people are still suffering.
I want to get their names. This is Andrew Stewart, Ransom Watkins, and Alfred Chestnut. You saw 2 of them there. They were over a murder of a stolen Georgetown University jacket. They found a jacket of similar in one of their closets. They had the receipt for it. The store clerk said it. They never gave evidence to defense. Guess what? 33 states, or only 33 states, allow for compensation for wrongfully convicted, and Maryland is not one of them.
I know, but to miss from like age 16 and 17 through 50 of your life is such a prime time in people's lives, and I don't think even even
it's
if they
your
do,
life.
right? Even if they do pass this law where they allow them to get compensation, no amount of money is going to buy back that time.
Can you imagine?
So they completely like devastated these guys' lives. I think that the prosecutor who did apologize needs to pay more than saying, okay, I'm going to try to put a law on the books where we'll compensate people.
Do you
in
think
the future.
so? Should we go after the prosecutor? Now, they have immunity from a lot of this, prosecutorial immunity, but should there be more consequences? I kind of agree with you.
Because they ignored evidence is what he found.
Yes.
He didn't even have a law or justice project working with him. He literally asked for this information, got it, and then pursued his own case because he saw there were some holes in his trial.
Yeah. I mean, we want to go and we want to put cops in prison when they have a bad shoot. We're talking about Eddie Gallagher, the Navy SEAL. When the Navy SEAL has bad behavior, we're talking about kicking him out of the Navy. Why would a prosecutor be immune when you overlooked evidence? And Al, this is something for us up here. This is 1983. This is before I was even born. If we didn't have the Kaepernicks and taking the knee to bring awareness to bad cops and all that, they didn't have that back then. They didn't have social media back then. So this is something that's been going on back to when Thurgood Marshall was taking cases with the NAACP.
Dare I say it's been going back forever, and this is why completely I'm against the death penalty. Because if there's a chance that one person is wrongfully convicted and they didn't get the help, then we're killing innocent people.
Yeah. Right, and I mean, that's one of the things that he said. I know we have to move on, but, you know, I read this article a couple times, and I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't have the exact quote, but basically it was like, yes, I'm lucky that we were absolved of this, but we're leaving so many people behind. That means it helps us all sleep better tonight. Everybody in this room, everybody watching the show, we sleep better saying, you know, the good guys got the bad guys and the bad guys are in jail. Let's have some popcorn and go to bed. And we all know that's not true. There are so many innocent people sitting in our jails right now.
I agree.
And their case at least needs to be looked at again. But it won't because they're poor and they're black. And no one wants to go through all that to then retroactively prove that prosecutors were wrong in what they did because then they're subject to being going after. So this is a thing that we're going to have to deal with. Until then, we'll just, I guess, celebrate this. Hey, congratulations! Your mom saw you die.
Well, hopefully
died while her innocent son was in jail.
Well,
so
let's hope that we can keep this in the news and discuss
I'm tired of hoping, Tori.
I know. I feel you too. I feel
what are we doing here?
Well, it is Thanksgiving. Moving on, and millions of people, they're traveling for the holiday. But weather is causing major issues. Let's get right to Kelly Schuberth with the latest.
Tori, you said it. This snowstorm is no joke. It's causing major issues all over the country. Here's a live look from right here in Denver, where the snow has been falling nonstop. This snow system will now move from the Rockies to the plains before hitting the Midwest later this week. Now, if you're traveling by air to get to your family and friends today, the best thing to do is check your flight status before you leave home. Hundreds of flights have already been canceled, and it's only going to get worse as that snowstorm moves east. DBL Nation, if you're seeing snow where you are, send us your pics using the hashtag DBLTake. Tori, I'll keep you updated.
Thank you, Kelly. Be safe out there, guys. Today is the lucky day for one turkey who is set to get a presidential pardon, and his name's not Roger Stone. The two birds who are fighting for the honor, bread and butter, made their way to Washington, where they stayed in this swanky suite.
They are not getting their deposit back.
Oh, my God. At the Willard Intercontinental Hotel. Fun fact for you, that's where they came up with the term lobbying, because people would talk in the lobby at the Willard.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Interesting.
Yes, you're welcome. The president will pardon one of them today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Is this ridiculous?
Those hotel rooms cost $200 a night minimum.
Know,
and they had a suite, not a regular room.
It's
so who
tone
knows?
deaf, right? Like, people are homeless in D.C. and it's freezing.
But this is, look. It's a tradition. We have to have some.
Come on.
I don't know.
That's not a tradition.
It's a little something to get. What about the ground chuck they pull out of the
and enjoying dinner with your family on Thursday?
Punxsutawney Phil, the rat that they pull out of the hole to see what the weather's going to be. We're not relying on that.
We're not giving them a Four Seasons resort spa pass. These ground
Punxsutawney Phil is more famous than anybody in this panel.
But Al, you just
that is a fact.
Okay.
That is a fact.
You just saw the story we just did about those two guys getting out. Like, I don't think we need to be having turkeys getting pardoned and making more of a mockery of
Brandon,
our justice system.
I agree with that.
And I know that's me going too far and all, but a turkey can get pardoned, but these men almost spent 36 years.
It's not you going too far, and I completely agree with you. I'm saying that, like, life is long, man, and we have to have a couple excuses to laugh a little bit.
Can't he say bread and butter, though? I don't want him to just say bread or butter. That seems terrible.
That cleaning lady is going to have the worst day
That's
ever.
bad,
so
right.
That's not a good tradition for her.
I think cleaning ladies have seen a lot worse than two turkeys.
No, you saw that.
Have you been to a hotel room New Year's morning?
Let's Let's talk about your hotel room New Year's Day in the break. DBL, stay tuned. We are live, and coming up, we're announcing the winner of our Sandals Dream Vacation giveaway. Stick around to see if it is you, and we're really getting into the giving spirit. We're giving a veteran a new chance he never saw coming. Watch how he and we change the lives of this very deserving man when we come back.
This November, DBL is better than ever. This week, Al gets much-needed cooking lessons just in time for Thanksgiving. Don't miss a minute of Daily Blast Live. This November, DBL is better than ever. This week, Al gets much-needed cooking lessons just in time for Thanksgiving. Don't miss a minute of Daily Blast Live.
Welcome back to DBL. Every day, millions of Americans struggle to find reliable transportation. From being late to work or missing vital medical appointments, the effects can be catastrophic. And that's why DBL teamed up with Midas, Project Spark, and 1,800 charity cars to get one deserving veteran back on the road. But before we show you the surprise, our co-host, Erica Cobb, sat down with Brian to hear his emotional story.
Brian.
Oh my goodness.
So nice to meet
Such
you.
a pleasure. Such a pleasure.
The pleasure
to meet you
is
as well.
all mine. Have a seat. What made you enlist? And tell me a little bit about your time in the military.
The main reason why I enlisted was access to the GI Bill, which was the opportunity to go to college without student loans. You know, my parents weren't exactly in a financial position to send me off to college. I'm definitely glad I made the leap. I've got to go to 9 countries, meet people I would never meet otherwise, and see all kinds of great things.
So you also became a dad.
I did.
And you have a teenage son.
Parenthood changes everything. It's all about the child, 110%. He's been my life changer. He's my motivation. That's why I get up every day, you know, is Brennan needs it, Dad's on it, you know, that type of thing.
You're going at it alone as a single dad. How has that shaped you?
It makes you extremely, extremely resilient to trials and tribulations that you go through. It makes me plan. You know, I have to think ahead. I have got to always be a step ahead.
Something that you didn't necessarily plan for is being diagnosed with lymph node cancer 3 years ago.
Right.
Take me through that process when you were diagnosed.
Oh, wow. Well, it was about 4 months after I had just got full custody of Brennan, so I was kind of like, you know, in celebration mode, if you will, of finally having him in my life full time. But to get that diagnosis, it was tough. That was one of the first times in my life I've ever felt out of control. Right now, I believe I'm getting some positive response from it. I typically get scans about every 3 months, and that's after they run one of the regimens of medication, again, 1 day at a time.
So what effect has chemo had on you?
I'm not as sharp as I used to be. The side effects are, you know, 5 times worse than I think the cancer itself is, you know, the neuropathy and the ringing in the ears. And I've gone through the transition in the past few months with starting to lose teeth from radiation and chemo decaying that. And sometimes just waking up and not knowing what's going on.
So I want to talk a little bit about your comeback story, because generally when it rains, it pours.
This time last year, I was kind of in a situation with between missing work and not being able to make ends meet. I basically lost my apartment. Put me in a position basically where I was on the street. I basically set up arrangements for Brennan to stay with his best friend for a few months. Just have him somewhere stable, because that was my biggest thing, is if I can keep him stable, I can get out and take care of business and get us back to where we need to be. But I was living in my car. I was, you know, more or less moonlighting at the VA hospital to, you know, kind of take a bird bath. And I became extremely dependent on my car. My vehicle was everything, you know. I lived in that. That was my life, you know. A lot of psychological and mental challenge with that. But I'm a self-proclaimed pretty tough cookie, so through it all I fight. That's all I know is fight.
Tell me about the car accident. What happened that day?
So basically I leave work and, you know, headed down the road and someone pulls out in front of me. Told it was my car. That was one of those distraught moments. I'm in a position where those necessary things that I need to truly be I won't say a good parent, but make a meaningful move. Getting myself to work, getting him to school, going to field trips, whatever, to fulfill my role as a parent. That having a vehicle and having my own home again is everything.
When we come back, the surprise Brian didn't see coming. Stay with us.
Health Markets compares your current plan with
is known for doorbuster deals on high-end electronics like TVs, cameras, and laptops. But are you really likely to score a deal on Black Friday? Our sources here, Kimberly Palmer, personal finance expert at NerdWallet, and Bridget Clary, a senior editor at CNET.
Well, the best prices on Black Friday are in 2 categories, electronics and appliances. And that's where we see the lowest prices. But sometimes the items that you see for sale do not have all the bells and whistles that you're looking for.
That's because you'll often find sales on older models, items that were sold at the same price last year. It's called recycled deals. But our experts say that's not always a bad thing.
You don't always have to get the latest model. Same thing with smartwatches. We see a lot of last year's and the year before that smartwatches on sale. Headphones, the same thing goes. So, you know, look for trends, see what you really need in the product you're shopping for, and you could score a great deal if you don't care about having the latest and greatest.
So yes, we can verify our experts say this weekend really is one of the best times of the year to buy electronics.
Welcome back to DBL. Before the break, we introduced you to Brian Tootle, an Air Force vet who refuses to give up even after a cancer diagnosis, a bout of homelessness, and a recent car wreck. But his motto of just keep fighting is about to pay off in a big way. We took Brian to a Midas just outside Atlanta, Georgia, where friends lined up to be a part of a surprise to get him back on the road. Take a look.
Brian, your service to our country and your positive attitude are absolutely inspiring. We know that things can be troublesome for veterans. It can be a very challenging situation, and we want to do something very special for you at the beginning of this holiday season. So on behalf of Midas, 1-800 Charity Cars, and Daily Blast Live, we want to present this Volvo that has been repaired for you.
Project Spark is a national initiative created by Midas and 1-800 Charity Cars, really dedicated to getting veterans, families, and first responders back on the road. We really want to see him get back on his feet. For what he's done for our country, we just want to make sure that we're doing something for him so he doesn't have to worry about that issue anymore.
Thank
guys.
you for your service. Appreciate you guys. I so appreciate you guys.
Enjoy that,
man.
That is awesome.
That is cool. Oh, wow.
Let me in.
He
Let
said,
me
let you in. All right, I do know the unlock features. Oh, wow, that's nice.
Oh, you got the leather seats.
I got the leather seats.
You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it.
Thank you. I so appreciate it.
So-
My son is going to be like floored. And this was actually a complete surprise to him. He thought I was just coming up for an interview. Doesn't know I'm coming home with the car.
Oh my gosh.
So I definitely can't wait to see his face. This is like blessings aplenty. Without a car in Atlanta, it's something that's extremely hard to deal with. You know, you got the ride share services now, but it's tough. It's tough. And my car was totaled a few months ago, and I'm still dealing with that. But this right here just puts me in a completely different, positive place. You know, I'm also dealing with a little bit of health issues too. I'm going through chemo treatment for lymph node cancer, so one day at a time. You know?
So you've been going to your chemo appointments, working, taking care of your 17-year-old son, all while having to rely on public transportation.
Yes, ma'am. For a couple of months I have. I do whatever it takes to get up, get my son to school, get him in the best environment for him to succeed, and take care of my day.
Yeah.
So he's my drive, he's my motivation, and we're gonna do it a little nicer.
And I've been in situations where I have depended on public transportation, and I've been in situations where I've had my own vehicle. And generally we appreciate those things based on our experiences. Right. But with your story, I appreciated those things based on your experience. And now you're in a situation where you can appreciate where you've been and where you are as well.
As well as where I'm going.
What are you most looking forward to in terms of having, because this is a space, this is your space.
Pulling out my map, let's go. You know.
You're gonna pull out a map, Brian.
We're gonna ride out. We're gonna do it old school way with the marker and the highlighter.
No, you're not.
Get our fix on Route 66.
I did not see that one coming. Can somebody get Brian a map? He said he needs a map.
Amazing. Project Spark is dedicated to helping 1,000 veterans, first responders, and families in need. If you want to donate a car or nominate a deserving family, please go to 800charitycars.org. Donating is fast, easy, and tax deductible. We'll be right back with our Sandals Dream Vacation winner.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Thanksgiving is next week, but now is the time to shop smart and save money on your turkey dinner. So budgetologist Felicia Jones is here to discuss this on today's Dollars and Cents presented by John Hancock. Felicia, thank you so much for being here first off.
Oh, thank you for having me again. I'm excited.
Thanksgiving is next week, as we just mentioned, and it's easy to go overboard on those dinners. We need some tips on how to save some money, Felicia.
Yes, we're going to talk about that because, you know, Thanksgiving is all about the fun and the family, but if you're like me, you spend too much and you spend all your time cooking, so you're not really having as much fun. But we're going to talk about the money side of it first.
Okay.
Start shopping early. You know, all of those ads that come into the mail, actually start paying attention to them because the savings are spread out over the weeks, and this is a great time to load up on all of the baking goods and everything. So start shopping early.
So we could even use these for Christmas too.
Oh gosh, yes you can.
Nice.
So start shopping early. Then go all inclusive for Thanksgiving. So many restaurants restaurants and the box meal services are packaging things up from $89 to up to $150, and you have a meal in a box already ready to go.
Good tip.
And then the other thing, which is a funny one, but skip the table decorations. Now, I'm one of those, I want the house to look like autumn and fall, and I get all these little leaves from the stores. So actually save yourself about $100. Go outside, there's leaves out there. Use
There you
those.
go.
I know.
I got to tell my wife that. She likes to go to the store instead.
So we got a couple of more. So if you actually don't want to do anything, but you want to feel really good, actually volunteer and give back to others.
I like that one.
This was a good one because now you get to go serve other people at Thanksgiving, serve some meals, and have a fun day with your family out and helping other people.
That's a good one. I think we're going to try to do that this Thanksgiving.
That's actually a really fun one. And of course, my last best tip, if you want to save some money on Thanksgiving, go to somebody else's house.
That's the smartest tip yet.
I know, but don't come to mine.
Felicia, you can come to mine.
Okay, good.
And
I'll bring the dinner rolls and some ice.
And some leaves.
Yes, and some leaves.
If you want to be a hero, you bring the ice to every party. That should be on the tip list.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Felicia. To submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email askmrsjones@dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-978-0663. We'll be right back.
There's a bunch of cooking myths that pop up this time of year, so food safety experts are working to prove those wrong. The most common holiday food safety mistake? Washing the turkey. Yeah, don't do that. All the washing does is spread that nasty bacteria to your sink, surfaces, and possibly other food. As for safe defrosting, there are no shortcuts. Defrosting a turkey in the fridge will take about 24 hours for every 5 pounds. So if you have a large bird, you'll want it out of that cryo chamber, like now. If you need it defrosted faster, put it in cold water, but change that water frequently, about every half hour. And don't rush the stuffing. This goes to the old stuffing versus dressing debate. Food safety experts recommend dressing or the dish cooked outside the turkey rather than stuffing. The extra cooking time needed for it can often dry out the turkey. In the end, you want your family to be asking for seconds, not running to the bathroom. Connecting the dots, I'm Howard Bernstein. Get up, DC.
Welcome back to DBL. Today, we are announcing the winner of our Sandals Escape the Winter Sweepstakes. Remember, it's an all-exclusive, inclusive and exclusive luxury vacation to the Caribbean for two. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Congratulations to Jessica Marshall.
Yeah.
Go Jessica. Florida, who watches us on Fox 4, Southwest Florida. Enjoy your amazing Sandals vacation, Jessica. Can we get some Sandals music?
I'm jealous, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
do
when
you
the
want to
music
share
doesn't
some?
play, you don't panic and just start singing. Also, I am happy for Jessica. I'm just saying, Fort Myers is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
She's leaving the beach to go to the beach.
Yes, she is.
Well,
Jessica
good
needs
for
to get
her.
that to
She
somebody
watched
in
every
Alaska.
day. From Alaska, yeah.
But she might need to get away for a little bit.
Or someone from Colorado, since we have a snowstorm going on right now.
I feel like Jessica should give us the prize.
Yeah.
We'll do Daily Blast Live.
This has been a turned around situation.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
No, congratulations.
Sandals is couples only, so who's going to be your date?
Me and Brandon.
All right, we'll see you same
Congrats,
time.
Jessica.
Same place tomorrow. Congrats. Bye, guys.
Mm-hmm.